I sure hope this does not take an awkward turn. 2 months later. Araki, put that down. You're just gonna hurt yourself. That's a 2-person job, even for adults. Yeah, sure. Koichi-sama. I don't know if these people are old. As I help your brother keep the frame in place. I want that door fixed before any bugs make it inside. Understood. Wait, hold on. Understood, Koichi-sama. Whatever your name is. Watching with pride and anxiety alike, I instructed my 2 young pupils as they fixed the front door of their new home. Araki and Azai both made a lot of mistakes, but they listened to me intently and continued to improve every day. Like this, Koichi-sama? Yes, just like that. Be mindful that you don't pierce the sheets. One little hole is all it takes for bugs to get in. Making do with what we had available, my pupils and I removed the bulk of the house's old front door, leaving only the frame. We then replaced the charred wood with the sheets, making for a lightweight door only secure enough to keep out insects and other pests. I guess this will have to do, at least for the time being. I would have rationed the wood more carefully if I'd known we'd been taking in another family so soon, but if I had that kind of foresight, I wouldn't be here to begin with. All I can do now is schedule another lumber gathering trip into the forest. How does this look, Koichi-sama? Very good, Azai. That'll do for now. You two should go tell your parents the good news, then report back to me after lunch. Yes, sir! Araki and Azai bowed, then ran inside to inform their parents. We put the door on and then died. And that would be my cue to check on my own family. By the time I returned home, Chio was already waiting for me. She sat in front of the living room table, exercising great restraint as she fought her desire to start eating without me.
There you are, Ku. I was beginning to think you were gonna work through the lunch.
Me? Miss Lunch? Not a chance. I wouldn't risk invoking your anger again by not eating.
Glad to hear it.
I took my place on the other side of the table, directly opposite Chio.
So how are the repairs on the... what is that? Kihai family home going? Are the boys doing well?
They're enthusiastic enough, but it'll be a while before they're ready to take over for me. Still, it is nice to have some extra hands.
I know what you mean. Kana-chan has been a big help when collecting food and water from the forest.
Haha, you two are really getting along, aren't you?
Of course. I've waited a long time for a girl my own age to come along.
A little over 1 month ago, a new family wandered into our village. Like me, they fled from the Mirai Kingdom, fearing for their lives. Although they were difficult to accommodate at first, the family of 5 has since proven invaluable, providing much-needed labor, which Chio and I were previously doing ourselves. The mother of the family, another elderly woman, has been learning how to weave, and the father has been whittling down spare wood in order to make crude weaponry. More importantly, the 2 sons, Azai and Araki, 12 and 13 years old, respectively, have been helping me with my manual labor. Similarly, their older sister Kana quickly became friends with Chio, and has been learning the layout of the forest, as well as which plants are edible and which are poisonous. Come on, you could... whatever. Speaking of Kana, do you feel she knows the forest well by now? I was thinking of sending the boys in there to search for lumber, so it would help if she escorted them while you continued gathering food.
Well, I guess, but... does that mean the 2 of us won't be taking any more trips to the forest?
You actually want to walk through the forest with me? Of course. When I first came here, the last thing you wanted to do was be alone with me, especially in the forest.
That was a long time ago. Your former allies killed my family.
Well, that was deep.
And you expect me to just go along with you? Of course I didn't want to go.
Yeah, when you put it like that, I kinda sucked. But I'm really happy to see that hear that your mistrust is in the past. It really is easier to navigate through the forest with your help.
Of course it is. You should know by now how reliable I am. But still, that doesn't answer my question.
Right. Our walks through the forest. If you want to go with me that badly, I suppose we could put Kana on food gathering duty and have her brothers help out.
It's not that I want to go with you or anything, Baka. I just thought it would be nice, Baka.
Chio hung her head and began to nibble on one of the berries in her bowl. You know, I feel like, here's my prediction. She's gonna send out Kana. Kana's gonna come back dead. Hope she can't really come back dead. She's not gonna come back at all. This daughter of mine really can't be honest with herself. Even after all this time, she still feels the need to hide her feelings from me. Perhaps 1 year isn't enough for 2 people to become family, after all. This will be very awkward. The next day... Da-da-da.
Whoa, this place is huge. Do you really come here every day, Nissan?
Hey, look, there's a path carved into the bush. But whatever. I'll race you to the big tree over there. You're on.
Hey, hold on a minute. Don't go running off on your own. Ah, jeez. Why don't you two ever listen to me?
Shortly after entering the forest, Ezai and Araki ran off. Their older sister Kana soon gave chase, but proved no match for her energetic siblings, and only could trail behind. Huh, that didn't take long.
You know how those two are. They may listen to you intently, but their sister is another matter altogether.
I guess that's just how children are.
Do you have any siblings, Ku? I know it's a bit late to be asking now, but you're always reluctant to talk about your past, so...
That's alright. Don't ever talk to me like that again. I will kill you. It's just my old work that I don't like to talk about. And no, I don't have any other siblings. But I did have a couple of childhood friends, and they both had siblings, so I know what it's like. Pardon me, I'm gonna swallow here.
That must have been nice. As you already know, I was only a child, and there weren't any other kids around my age either. So even if Kana and her family had come along before our village was set alight, I'm sure we would have wound up becoming friends. Though, I suppose it's for the best that they came afterwards, isn't it?
Yes, you were correct. If the Kihai, had fled the Mirai Kingdom before I did, their deaths would now have been hanging over my head, just like so many others.
So, what were your childhood friends like? Were they good people? Did you remain friends with them when you grew up?
Oh, my friends. It's a bit complicated.
Is that so?
Oh, but that was weird.
Is that so? Let me guess. One of them was a girl, and the other was a boy?
You're right, but it's not what you think. Haru, a while after she found out what Ito and I had been doing for a living, she took her own life. Oh, never mind. I'm sorry.
I see. I'm sorry, Ku. I didn't mean to.
It's fine. There's no other way you could have known that.
Yeah, but...
Chio looked up with me with sadness in her eyes. I wasn't sure if she felt sympathy, pity, or a sense of solidarity. Whatever. I pride myself in being a good speaker, but that's just a stupid word, given what had happened to her own family. But whichever feeling was behind that look, I couldn't stand seeing Chio look at me like that again. Give me a second, I'm gonna check stuff. Okay, forget about it, alright? Let's go find some lumber before the kids finish up doing their rounds.
Okay.
I'm just gonna chop this tree with my one hand. Or you can put a you can put an axe hand on her hand and she can double axe trees. It's flawless. Chio and I walk through the forest in relative silence. In the distance we can hear rummaging, in addition to the occasional gleeful shout, or a cry of annoyance.
Nya, you're never gonna catch me, Nissan.
Oops, almost. You need to work on your leg strength, Nichan.
Hold still, you brats. Can't you ever listen to your sister? I'm trying to teach you something important.
Whatever. We're working men now. We'll leave the food gathering to the women. Wow, that's racist or sexist. Right. We fix the house. You go get the food. That's how society works.
You brats. Fine. Run through some poison ivy for all I care. Good luck getting out of this forest on your own.
Oh, that's such a bad idea. Nichan? Did Nichan just abandon us? Bruh. I tried to stifle my laughter as Chio and I listened in on the conversation being held between the Kihai siblings. Those three sure do get along well. I don't know what world I came from, but apparently that's getting along.
You can say that again. They're like that every day, yet they always make up in the end.
Indeed. They're just like how we used to be. I'd try to help you, or ask you a question, and you just brush me off.
Well, excuse me, Prince. Not entrusting a complete stranger. Besides, you were far from perfect yourself. I told you time and time again not to follow me. And whenever you did, you wound up getting lost in the forest.
Hey, I was just looking out for you.
If you say so. At any rate, you seem to have learned your lesson, given that you asked me to be your guide.
Why wouldn't I? Nobody in Hatsu Village knows this forest like you do. So, Elder Spirit of the Forest, where do you think one might find lumber suitable for repairing houses?
Right this way, befuddled traveler.
Chio led the way deeper into the forest, taking me to an unfamiliar area. Although I didn't know that the forest as well as Chio, I had spent enough time in there to know the area close to town. So if I didn't know where I was, it was a safe bet that we were pretty in deep. Or we're in pretty, whatever. I should make an axe one of these days. What, seriously? How have you been doing it? Oh, he's just looking for fallen trees. Going this far into the forest just to search for fallen trees is impractical, nor is carrying back wood over such a distance. The village is in a decent shape now, and I have Azai and Araki to help me, so I should have time to fashion a few more tools. With ample wood lying around from the toils of the former villagers, not to mention the remains of several houses, securing lumber was never a high priority. I thought it was. My early days in Hatsu were spent utilizing the resources my predecessors had left behind, and using makeshift tools in place of anything more useful, like a hammer or an axe. But with a growing village, ongoing repairs, and the occasional newcomer, relying on existing resources was no longer an option.
Okay, this ought to do it. What do you think? Did I come through or what?
Chio stopped in front of a fallen tree, which had been pierced by a large rock as it landed. It would still require brute strength to tear off anything worthwhile, and I'd need an axe to take away most of it, but it was quite a find nonetheless. He sure did, as expected of my wonderful daughter.
You're never gonna give up this whole father-daughter thing a rest, are you? Like I told you from the beginning, we're far too close in age to be parent and child.
My voice, it's dying!
Nobody in the village believes it anyway. Why do you even bother saying it?
Chio stared at me with a serious expression on her face, as though tired of the farce. I know it's not believable. That isn't the point. Chio, what do you suppose the other villagers would think if we weren't parent and child?
Exactly what they think of us now, right?
Are you sure about that? A young man and woman, not related by blood, living together, calling one another by their first names without honorifics. Do I really need to spell it out for you?
Yes? I still don't get it. You don't use honorifics with anyone, do you? And so what if we live together and aren't related by blood? That doesn't mean... Wait a minute. You don't mean...
Chio's face was suddenly dyed a bright red. I did not see that one coming. Only 1 year had passed from being of age. Chio could easily pass for a young bride, especially if her husband was a renowned samurai. But after being on our own for so long, and spending every day simply trying to survive, such frivolous thoughts never even entered Chio's mind.
You must be joking, Baka. Who would marry a worthless samurai like you, Baka?
Come on now, there's no need to get defensive.
Who's being defensive, Baka? I'm just setting things straight, Baka.
Calm down, Chio. I have no intentions of getting married again. Anyway, I hope that answers your question.
Baka, I guess. Though it still doesn't explain why we're father and daughter and not siblings, Baka.
She's got me there. To be honest, when I first saw Chio in that storeroom, I could only think of her as a little girl. A child who needed protecting, far too young and weak to be my sister. But I was wrong, and now it's too late to change our story. That's because we look so different, you know? When people point out the dissimilar appearances, I could say you take after your mother.
Is that right, Baka? Well, it doesn't matter. It's too late to change our story now anyway.
Wow, she read my mind.
Now, let's get moving. You go get the boys to help you with the lumber, and I'll go look for Kana-chan.
Whatever you say, Chio. Apparently this game is short, I don't even know. 3 days later. I'm interested so far, I hope you guys are. I hope my voices are working. I think I've got it. Be careful with that, you don't want to lose a finger. Relax, I'm fine, it's just like Papa showed us. After devoting a few days to stockpiling lumber, Azai and Araki and I undertook a different task than usual. The village no longer required any urgent repairs, and we had gathered enough lumber to accommodate one more family, should they appear. So with the knowledge their father bestowed upon us, our increasing awareness of the forests adjacent to Hatsu village, and more lumber than we needed. I did not read that correctly, I'm sorry. Done! My trap is complete. We began to make crude wooden traps. Well done, Azai. Now place the bait in the trap and move on to the next one. Yes, sir, Koichi, whatever. While the girls had been doing well in their role of providing berries and fruit for the village, the lack of variety was disheartening. Only once had I tasted flesh since coming to Hatsu, and every day I craved the taste of cooked meat more and more. These young children would do. So with a wannabe weaponsmith rarely biding his time, and his 2 sons both eager to eat meat again, I brought the 3 together for a new venture. Using string and sharpened wooden spikes, we fashioned basic traps triggered by pressure. By placing a few berries and leaves in the center of the trap, we can lure unsuspecting rabbits out onto the string, at which point a wooden spike would be pulled forward and stab the rabbit from above. Koichi-sama? I think I made mine a little too big. That's an understatement. That trap is far too big for catching rabbits. But you might as well set it up anyways. Who knows? You might even catch a bear. Man, how big did he make it? A bear? Are there really bears in here, Koichiro-sama?
Of course not. There's nothing that dangerous around here.
Oh, Gio, I didn't expect you to be here. Done already?
Not yet. I just thought I'd see how you boys were going. But from the look of it, you three still have a lot of work to do.
How harsh. We only started, you know.
We'd be further along if Araki followed Papa's instructions.
Hey, it's not my fault he can't explain anything properly. His explanation was fine. It's your brain that needs fixing. Grr, come here. Like usual, Azai and Araki then began brawling without hesitation. Though typically playful, the two often fought, and all it took was one sly comment from either brother before their fists began flying. Maybe I should teach those two how to wield a sword. That is not a good idea. It might do them some good to learn discipline, and to vent their frustration productively. Okay, better idea.
That didn't take much. Boys really are violent thugs, aren't they?
That's also sexist. If you want someone to agree with you, Chio, you should really be saying that to Kana. Besides, there's no harm in a little roughhousing.
Even when they're this close to the traps they just made?
Boys, stop that this instant! Azai and Araki both stopped at my command. They slowly walked back over, paying a little attention to the two traps they'd just set.
Sorry, Koichiro-sama.
Yeah, we're sorry. Look, if you two want to play, that's fine, but do it away from the traps you just set.
Whoa, you're right.
Understood, Koichiro-sama.
I'm going back to gathering food. You three have fun.
Without another word, Chio walked straight past us, deeper into the forest. Something tells me I'll be hearing more about that during lunch. Oh well, Chio's message was conveyed, and that's what matters. Alright, you two, back to work. And make sure to keep track of every trap you set. Chio, your sister, and I all need to know exactly what to look out for. Got it?
Understood.
Yes, Koichiro-sama.